Happy Easter!
Today we're going to show you how to make some little Easter cuties.
We hope you will enjoy our step-by-step tutorial.
Okay, first thing you need is these little pom-pom makers. You can buy them at any haberdashery shop, and you open up the two arms either side like that, and then you start to wrap the wool around them. If you don't have these pom-pom makers, you can just use circles of card with a hole cut in the middle. The first thing you do is you get your wool in whichever colour you choose, and you begin to wrap around the arms. It takes a little bit of time, and you need to make them really, really thick. Snip off the ends when it's as thick as you'd like it to be, and then you can start on the other side. And as you may have noticed, there are two different sizes. You need a small pom-pom maker and a large pom-pom maker. So one bit will be for the head and one part will be for the body. Once you've finished wrapping all the wool around, you clip your machine back together, and then you carefully snip down the groove until all the ends are separated. Do not open the machine at this point, otherwise you'll end up with threads all over your table. Okay, the next stage, you get yourself another piece of wool, and quite a long piece of wool because you've got to wrap it around twice around the machine. You carefully slot it into the groove in between the bits of fluffy ends, wrap it around a couple of times and tie it firmly. Give it a really good pull and tie it hard. Don't cut the ends off because you need those to tie the two pom-poms together. Now comes the fun bit. Take the arms out on both sides and you pull your machine apart. It should just come away really easily, and there's your finished pom-pom. Give it a little bit of a fluff up. And next stage you just repeat again with the smaller one. So exactly as you did with the big pom-pom, you do again with the small version for the head. Once you've cut your small pom-pom, this time don't tie it off just yet. Leave it as it is because you need to do another step first. So you get yourself two pieces of felt for the ears. You get a pink and a white, and just cut yourself off a rectangle, a couple of rectangles. Fold them in half, and you make the inside shape for inside the ears. Probably a couple of centimetres long is fine. Then with the white, you use the pink as a template and you make a larger version of the ear, so you end up with those nice little bunny ears with the pink bits in the middle. Glue the pink onto the white. Right, next stage is to get yourself another piece of wool and a thick needle, and you just put a couple of stitches in the ears to thread them together, and you're going to use this thread to tie off the other pom-pom, so that means that the ears will just appear nicely tucked inside the pom-pom itself. Yep, position the ears in the middle of your thread. And then you can tie it on, and as you can see the ears appear really neatly tied into your pom-pom there. And again, tie it off really, really, really tightly. And open your pom-pom machine as we showed you earlier. Now the two ends of each pom-pom can now just be tied really neatly together to make the head and the body join together. Make sure you do this really firmly. And then snip off the ends neatly. At this point it's a great idea to neaten up your little pom-pom animal, snip off any loose ends. Right, next stage we want to think about putting some features on your creature. So we're going to do the whiskers first of all. So you'll need a pipe cleaner, whichever colour you would like, and a little button with 2 holes and your needle with some thread, with a piece of the wool. Fold your pipe cleaner in half and cut it in half to make 4 whiskers. And the next thing is you thread your wool up through your button and down to the other side, and you tie it into the middle of your whiskers. Tie it really firmly. Now the next stage is you need to attach this to your creature's face. So you take your needle and you sew a stitch all the way through your pom-pom, and then you repeat with the other piece of thread. So both pieces of thread come out the back of the head of your animal, and there are your whiskers attached to his little face. And do a nice knot at the back to secure it. Now you can do what you like with those whiskers. You could trim them if you wanted to, or you can curl them up and give them quite a groovy little face. Next stage is some button eyes. So you get your needle with your wool, and a similar thing. You start from the back of the head this time, up through your button, back through the other hole, and back through the head again. So you can just tie them on. Careful to position them in the right place, just below the ears. And there he is with his 2 ears. And we're nearly finished. So our little baby now, baby rabbit, now needs his pom-pom tail, and you can buy these little pom-poms from any haberdashery store. You do exactly as you did with the buttons, only you're obviously going to sew it on the back. There's your finished creature with his little bobbly tail. Right, the very last thing, to make him look like a little Easter creature, you can get some nice Easter ribbon with some eggs on or some chicks on, and do a nice little bow around his middle, around his tummy. And there you have your finished Easter creature. These would make ideal gifts for Easter, or you could use them as a decoration in your home. You could try and make some chicks, or maybe a little lamb, anything you fancy really. And here we are, our 2 finished Easter creatures.